People are social animals and business is a contact sport, right? So trying to prosper while working on your couch is not a recipe for success, particularly in New York City. I'm Bill Montana. I'm with a company called Savills. We're real estate brokers who represent the occupiers, and I've been with them since 1996. So the office market during the pandemic has been highly disrupted, right? So you had a situation where it wasn't safe for people to come to their offices, so they left in droves. And so you've seen unprecedented supply and unprecedented lack of demand simultaneously occur. So many clients and other companies are looking to sublease. The main driver behind it is cost savings, right? And that sounds really good. It sounds very logical, but the problem with that is that in good times, when there's ordinary amounts of demand and supply, it can take 12 months to sublease space. But when you're in a situation like a pandemic presents, there's very little demand and a ton of supply. And so you can wait a long time to find a subtenant. Then you have to basically take half of the rent that you're paying as a direct tenant. Then you have to give a bunch of free rent. You need to give money towards construction. You need to pay real estate brokers. You need to pay attorneys, architects, engineers. And pretty quickly you realize that while you're trying to get some relief on expenses, you're going to have to spend a couple of years worth of rent to get that eventual relief. So it doesn't really pencil out for a lot of people. Well, the first steps is to assess the market and assess, where demand might come from. Who might your target market be, right? So say to yourself, well, what size occupier are we, and what size occupiers might have an interest in our space? And then you go out and you start promoting the space. You take very good pictures and videos, and you assemble very good marketing materials, and you try and rise above the noise of the rest of the market by being a better marketer than everybody else. Every situation is different, right? You can't have a blanket statement. But generally, subleases trade at a very significant discount to direct space. And there's multiple reasons for that. Reason one is typically they're shorter term. It's also priced at a discount because the occupier who's going to sublease your space doesn't have a direct relationship with the landlord. And so the landlord, their first priority is to their direct clients, their tenants. And so when you need something, and you invariably are going to need something, the landlord's not going to pay attention to you in the manner that they would their own tenant. And so because of that, it's priced at a discount. What is that discount? Sometimes it can be 50%. If you're a private company, it's really hard to rationalize taking half of what you're paying, right? But if you're a public company, I always say to clients who are thinking about subleasing, well, think carefully about doing it. If you're going to do it, sublease from a really large public company. Because these large public companies, they tire of having this on a meeting checklist. And so what a public company will do is they will just say, let's get this thing gone. Let's take whatever we need to get rid of it. And then it gets put into this one quarter's numbers. And then after that, it's in the rearview mirror. We never get asked again. So if you can sublease from someone like that, you can get a great deal, particularly if it's long-term, particularly if it's furnished, equipped, and been built recently. That's sort of like the magical unicorn sublease space. Public company, recently built, long-term, furnished and equipped. People come to New York City because they're ambitious. They want to test themselves against the best of the best. They want to work with the best of the best. They want to work hard and they want to achieve. And you don't do that, with a 2 or 3 day work week. You don't do that working from home. You do that by showing up and collaborating and rolling up your sleeves and working hard. So I think that as the vaccine rollout gets better, and it's getting really good traction now, I think as the restaurants start opening, and more are, as the weather gets better and we can be outdoors and be together more, and as culture opens up, New York is going to come back really strong, stronger than people think. I'd be careful to say whether it's a window that's closing, but it will definitely be a period of time. And many organizations have put space on the market because they weren't occupying it. And they said, well, let's see if there's a taker. Let's put it on the market and see if someone wants it. But as they start planning for a return, and everyone now, anyone who's smart is planning for return and engaging with advisors on how to best do that. As you start thinking about that, a lot of the occupiers who put space on the market are going to simply pull that space off and reoccupy it themselves.